Everybody, this is Dr. Forth, and this is going to be kind of a continuation from my hand washing video, only now I'm going to talk about the use of hand sanitizers. I was really surprised when I went to a local public school in recent years and found that, shockingly, in the restroom, no soap in the dispensers, and instead they have in the hallway alcohol-based hand sanitizers. Let me just emphasize that hand sanitizers are no substitute for proper hand washing. If you haven't seen it yet, go review the hand washing video. It's relatively short, explains how the soap works and the mechanics of hand washing because it's really important and you cannot replace hand washing with soap with application of a hand sanitizer. I've even seen people right before they go to eat not wash their hands but slather all of this sanitizer stuff on their hands and then touch their food. The hand sanitizer is not healthy, wonderful stuff, and you don't want to be eating that. So let's talk about proper use for this. First of all, hand sanitizer, in order to be effective, needs to be at least 60% alcohol. Most of the ones on the market are about 65%, but make sure you read the label because some of the off-brand and so forth, they might not have sufficient alcohol content to really make a difference. So again, that threshold is 60% in order to be effective. And it should be ethanol or isopropanol. Isopropyl is rubbing alcohol, okay? This is really important. You may recall during the pandemic, there were hand sanitizers that were actually recalled because they had the wrong kind of alcohol. I believe it was methanol that they had. This is wood alcohol. It's very toxic. We don't want that. So make sure it has the correct percentage and the right kind of alcohol. It does not replace hand washing, and it doesn't remove dirt and greasy messes like soap does because it doesn't have that lifting the materials off the skin like the soap does. It's a different chemical structure entirely. However, the alcohol can kill some pathogenic organisms. It's interesting that the rhinovirus that causes colds may not be quite as susceptible to cleansing by soap, so the hand sanitizer can actually help to remove rhinovirus, but remember, always in combination with hand washing. On the other hand, non-enveloped viruses like norovirus and rotavirus are not effectively removed by hand sanitizer. So the alcohol hand sanitizers don't really do anything for that. We always want to use hand sanitizer in combination with hand washing. The mechanics of how we do it are very similar to hand washing. So if you saw the hand washing video, this is going to be familiar. Again, I've got my hands up because I have to show them to the camera. But again, you're going to want to have your hands down. Okay, it's not as important with the sanitizer as it is with hand washing and soap because in that case we've got water and lots of suds from the soap going on. So we don't have that with the hand sanitizer. We're going to dispense some of the sanitizer into the palm of the hand and rub palm to palm. And we're going to interlock our fingers, okay? Getting it all around between the fingers and around the cuticle and so forth, grasping the thumb, rotate around the thumb, both sides, rubbing the fingertips in the palm of the hand. And we continue this because the hand sanitizer is going to dry on our hands. Okay, the alcohol is going to evaporate, leaving the hands dry. Important note, this alcohol in the sanitizers will dry your hands out. Now, the skin barrier on the hand is very important protective measure from infection. So if you have dry hands, they can crack, particularly in the winter months. So you want to make sure that you use good moisturizer. And my hands get very cracked and dry in the winter months. In spite of lotion and moisturizer, I have to wash my hands all the time. I discovered liquid bandages. One of my massage therapist friends told me about it. It's like, hello, so obvious, but that was a game changer. So if you get cracks around the knuckles and the tips of the fingers, the liquid bandages are a great thing, and they have all different brands, and of course the generic store brand, but they come in a little bottle with like a nail polish brush. It stings a bit, but you put that on, and that's going to form a seal while the skin heals. So make sure if you're using the hand sanitizer that you don't let your hands get dried out. Use lotion. And remember, the hand sanitizer is not magical, wonderful vitamins. So we don't want to glop it on and then touch our food with hand sanitizer still all over our hands. Check for the percentage of alcohol. Check for the kind of alcohol that you've got in there. And remember that the hand sanitizer must always be used in combination with appropriate hand washing with soap and water. Remember, these tips can help you stay healthy and achieve your greatest potential. Follow other videos on this channel for other useful tips.